Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video, and today we are going to do a character guide on Ramza. Ramza is a very good party support character. He's got a few interesting things in his kit in terms of he has launching, he's got delay, he's got instant break, so a very, very good support character, but also has just a lot of tech in his kit, like a lot of techie things you can do that can really help you in a fight. And his auras are very, very good, right? If Garnet weren't around, I would say this would be the talk of the town right now, but Garnet heavily overshadows him. But if you're someone like me that wants to do some crazy things, pick him up anyways and then put him and Garnet on the same team and like make your third character look absolutely insane, right? Well, making each other look better. So I think that's going to be like a staple team comp for a lot of people, is just Garnet plus Ramza plus anyone, and just have fun with that, right? I know it's a little bit boring, but if you like the Stomp content, I think that's going to be pretty good. You can do like Garnet, Ramza, and then whoever does the orb, right? That kind of setup, and you're going to be pretty good to go for a while. So in this video, we're going to take a look at the artifacts and spheres really quick, and then we'll jump into a quick little showcase. And once again, I just explained how to use the character very simply and briefly. I don't talk about every single number in their kit, anything like that. The basic overview, this is kind of what they do. This is what buttons to press, and this is kind of in general what the character does, right? So, all right, so we're going to hop in here, and we are going to look at the artifacts. So basically, you want 3 Attack 108 and Mightiest Squire boost. The C50, you could also go Max Brave, but Attack in the Mightiest Squire is what you want to go for. And then for spheres, we've got C and D spheres, right? So for the C sphere, you want to focus more on like Eye Brave and Attack. Eye Brave is important on a character like Ramza because he does a lot of battery, and Eye Brave heavily affects battery. So you either want to go Attack, or if you're not going to go Attack, do something that affects the battery, right? Garnets can be really good. Garnet is a pretty staple C sphere I've been throwing out for people. If you want to improve the character's own attack, I think Garnets could be a really good one. Arciela, Cryle, they have pretty decent battery spheres as well. I put Penelo's on as a battery sphere. Just anytime Ramza grants a buff, then we get a battery on there, 8%, right? So I liked Penelo's, so I put Penelo's on. And that's the not maxed out one, right? That's just the refined one. Then on the D sphere, once again, I think you want to focus with Attack and Eye Brave on that as well. So the main thing is just do any Attack or Eye Brave spheres that you have that you like. Just avoid Waka because he requires, I believe, 5 buffs, and Ramza doesn't easily do that without other characters around him. And I would give spheres that you would just say, this is what the character can do independently, right? So I put Ashes on, so when you grant the buff, party attack 5%. I like that. And then I put Ramza's own on there. Party Int Brave and Max Brave. Max Brave isn't as important, but the Int Brave, I put on there for the Eye Brave. It's not a bad one, right? So those are the spheres I went with. And so we're going to go ahead and hop into a showcase here. And look at that, Ramza Garnet sandwich. So this is the exact same team comp I did for Zach's showcase. Zach is a nice one to have around because then I just can't die when I'm doing the showcase, right? So we'll go ahead and hop in here. And we're going to take a look at Ramza's kit. Ramza's got 2 kind of important buffs, right? So there's like a shout and a pep buff, and I think they get stacks on them, and you want to get them to 3 stacks. So what we're going to do is we're going to lead off actually with Ramza's LD. I would say you could, like in a typical fight, you could lead with the LD, or if you want to be really aggressive and just jump right into full burst phase, you could do that also. That's another way you could start with them. But for this one, we'll take it a little slow here. So we're going to jump with LD. We'll put a couple things on here first. The LD for Ramza is going to do a 2-turn delay and a launch, which is really good, and then it's going to make the other enemy launchable. So that's a really good opening start there. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to go ahead and throw that on. Okay, yep, we're going to do that. All right, and now, of course, I'm doing once again, doing the showcase on Edgar's Lufendi where the enemies can't be launched. I don't know how I end up always putting these launch characters in these showcases, but that's fine. Would have been launchable, and then now the other character would be launchable as well. Not a big deal. You all can imagine that, right? We'll let Zach put his EX on. I'll just talk about Ramza's burst effect here real quick as we're going through. So Ramza's burst effect, it's kind of like Garnet's, where it's just like really good auras and like really good like HP damage cap up, stuff like that. So it's just a lot of buffs. It doesn't have like any other crazy effects to it or anything. It's just a lot of really nice buffs on when it's up, right? So that's pretty much what his burst effect is. So typically, What I would do is I would go LD, and then we could go into shout, and then maybe use the burst attack, or we could do LD and then burst attack, then shout, something like that. Otherwise, you could go right in the burst phase and just get it all set up right away. That's kind of what I would do with Bart's, like when I was running Bart's all the time, was I would just go right in the burst mode right away. So sure, we'll go ahead and do this. Make our characters look good, right? And Ramza being like pretty much a pretty pure support, he actually can deal some really good damage, you know, in these team comps that are just kind of crazy these days. I mean, we're definitely in garbage time here where we just feel so overpowered right now, and I actually love it. I like feeling overpowered. I like it when the fights are easier. I don't mind a good challenge here and there, right? Like, you feel really accomplished when you beat these really hard Lufenias, but I'm someone, I like to crank them out. I like to stomp them. I like that fun. And then if I beat the Lufenias quick, then I can just jump in like this and have fun with you guys and just record fun videos, right? I kind of like doing that. Okay. So we got Ramza coming up next. So what happens is we're going to look here at Ramza really quick. So you see we have Shout and we have Pep. Okay, and they're at 2 stacks right now. So the reason why we want to read with, so the LD and Shout both increase Shout by 1 stack. So the reason we lead with the LD and then we're going to go into Shout is to get that to 3 stacks. And the reason why we want to do that, one is it like, so having more stacks on both of those buffs just increases what they do. Like it just ups all the stats on them, right? And then also Ramza is going to get an HP and Brave triple plus attack, which are actually fairly decent buttons to press when you want to. So we'll maybe show that off in the next attack here. Yep, we're going to let this go off here. Yep. Do all that. And then we'll do this, and then maybe on the next turn we'll just go into burst phase, and then we'll kind of show off the rest of Ramza's kit there. Okay, so Zach, we're going to go ahead. Yeah, I want to get Zach's burst effect up here, just so that Zach will just eat up any HP damage that's coming our way, because these orbs are going to pop pretty soon, and I just don't want to take any risk of dying here, and Zach is going to make sure that we don't, which is really, really awesome. If you haven't checked out my Zach guide yet, that is also up on my channel, so if you're interested in how Zach works, he basically makes you invincible. It's pretty good. Pretty darn good. Okay. So Ramza, you can see we've got Shout at 3 stacks, right? Now Pep would actually bring the Brave attack to triple plus, but we have the HP attack triple plus. So let's go ahead and use that really quick. So it should do a decent little battery to himself and a big attack. Okay. Yeah, so it's pretty decent. Like, you don't always have to press the button, but that's just a button you can press. But you mainly want to get them to 3 stacks just because their auras are really good that come with it. And then you have the option to get the better HP and Brave attack plus if you want it. They're triple plus attack, right? Okay, so what we'll do is we are going to go ahead and hop into a burst phase. And then we'll kind of just show off the rest of the kit and kind of explain it, right? Pretty basic, though. Sure, we'll do meteor shots here. Why not? Why not? Oh, the other thing I should mention about Shout that is really, really good. Yeah, look at Zach just take all this. He's just going to eat it up. Doesn't matter. We'll just watch Zach go to town here. This is another Zach. Look at all the turns the enemies have. And Zach is just going to 0 damage everything. 0 Brave damage. Any HP, even if they're all attacks, he's just going to absorb it all and just take it all. And he can't die. So, like, even if his HP drops to 0, he can't die with this burst effect up. Okay, so I guess we got a Garnet turn in here, so sure, let's just throw that out. Garnet kind of snuck her way up. Okay, and then we'll hopefully get into Ramza here and get into the burst there. But the thing with Shout, I forgot to mention. So I was using Shout to increase the stacks on the Shout buff. But, oh shoot, and of course we're blind now. Okay, they had to do that to kind of mess us up. Alright, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to get blind off of him. So I'm just going to basically do a bunch of free turn shenanigans to get blind off of him so I can go into the burst phase. That was actually kind of annoying that they did that to me. Alright, so we'll do that. Yep, we'll do this. And I think I have a call I can use to finish it and get it off. Get all these dang debuffs off. Yeah, we'll just do one of these. There, now we got the debuffs off of Ramza. Now I can go in the burst phase. That was kind of annoying. But we're good. Okay. Perfect. Alright, so now let's go into burst phase. Yes. Okay, so we'll go into burst phase here. Now, what I forgot to mention about Shout that is really good is it's just an instant break. So no matter what brave the enemies have, it'll break them. This is really useful for like some enemies go into this mode where they like give themselves a ton of brave and then you only do 1 brave damage to them. Ramza has helped me in the past with some of those fights just to like do that instant break, right? Which is very, very good. So here's what I'm going to show off. Well, I can't show it off because they can't be launched, but here's what you would do. So like if you're in a burst phase, right? You use the LD here, which is going to launch. Now it won't in this case because these guys can't be launched. So imagine, boom, big launch would happen there, right? And you see our brave is really big. We'd dump all the brave. Then what would happen is this second enemy now can be launched. And so what you do is you do Enervate. So I haven't really talked about the EX, but Enervate is just a humongous brave battery when it goes off. So what it's going to do, it's going to give the team basically cap brave, and then you're going to launch and do a ton of damage during the launch. So I usually like to Enervate right after I do the LD, because then I get the launch after, and it's really, really nice, right? How did we get... okay, whatever. I guess we've got blind on again, which is fine. We can show off Galvanize, because it doesn't matter if we're blind for that. So we'll use Galvanize here. Galvanize basically will do the party heal. It's not like a crazy strong heal, so you don't necessarily want to depend on Ramza as your main healer. You might need to bring another healer with them. It does refresh buffs, which is really good. And it's a great way, like you can extend the shout buff if you need to, things like that. So Galvanize is a button I don't press a ton, but is a button you can press here and there, right? And then shout I showed off before. So like this guy right here, we can use it. And you'll see just instant break. Didn't even do brave damage, just you're broken. And then you get attacked. And look at that, 580k from a shout, right? Not too bad. And then let's see. I showed Galvanize. Once again, we have the brave and HP triple pluses. We can show that again. So you can see, we just did 700, 800k from an HP triple plus. So it's a good button to press, right? Which is why, like, right away in a fight, you want to, like, get that up. We can do the brave attack, too. But you see, that doesn't do any dumps on it, but it's there. It's a brave attack. So the brave attack triple plus you probably won't use, but that HP triple plus, man, that's a pretty good button. And then here's the actual BT attack, which is Ultima, which is going to do really good AoE damage. It usually ends up being like 800k to like a mil damage AoE, which is pretty standard for a burst attack these days. Yeah, there's a mil AoE, right? And then once again, this is going to give him his 8-turn burst effect, which once again, kind of like Garnet, where it's not really doing an effect you visually see. It's just a lot of auras, HP cap up, all that stuff for the party, and it's just doing really good things. So this setup right here, where you've got Garnet's burst effect up, you've got Ramza's burst effect up, you even have Zack's burst effect up, like you're doing crazy damage. So let's just finish off the fight, and let's just look at some of the numbers that are popping off from these characters here. But it's going to be pretty good numbers. Provided that the blind isn't like making us miss all the time, right? So we got one of the enemies there. So yeah, 500k from that, which probably a little bit less damage because of the blind. Yeah, and of course, Zack's got his blind on as well, right? So let's go ahead and just, we'll speed through the blind here. The blind I think is a really annoying debuff. Really, really annoying. But yeah, we'll just get a lot of crazy numbers. Obviously, I'm wasting my burst effect here, but that's fine, whatever. All right, so Zack's got one more. Let's throw this on. Okay. Oh yeah, I see. The call didn't. That's why Ramza had to turn a blind. The call doesn't actually subtract from their debuffs. All right, now we got it off. All right, so let's go ahead. Sure, let's do an Apocalypse. Do a bunch of damage here. Finish these guys off. The orb will go off on this one guy, but it won't. Yeah, so a mil AoE on the Apocalypse. Like, just crazy damage. And then, sure, do your meteors. They won't do anything because Zack is ridiculous. This kind of turned into a mini, like, also look at Zack showcase. But this team right here is pretty darn insane, to be honest. Like, I don't know what Lufenias you're... The only Lufenias you're losing with this team are things where, like, they can't tick the orb and the orb is auto-kill. That's literally the only thing this team can't beat. Pretty crazy. But yeah, of course, they're just going to keep re-putting the blind on. Whatever. We'll just power through and kill them. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think of Ramza. I think he's absolutely crazy. Very good character. What I would say is this. If you're someone that came on after the year 4 anniversary and you don't have Garnet, Ramza is almost a must-get if you want to make the game easier. Because he's basically going to be your slot-in for Garnet. And he's basically going to be your first slot in on a team comp where he's your main supporter and then slot in 2 other characters and you're good to go. But once again, pair him with Garnet. So if you have Garnet, he's much less essential. You definitely could skip him. If you have Garnet and you're fine not having him, you don't have to have him. I'm greedy. I want to have all the HP damage up, so I'm running them both. I got the sandwich going. So anyways, guys, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.